Hi, I'm Katie Singh, and welcome to The Wick, a place where we're on a mission to connect the culturally curious and to light up your world with arts and creativity. Today, I'm thrilled to be bringing you to LINLEY in Belgravia, London, where we're here for the launch of an exciting exhibition from the great photographer Maryam Eisler. Curated by art historian Carrie Scott, Once Upon a Turquoise Past brings together an entirely new body of work.
So Maryam Eisler and I happened to have lunch just after lockdown had lifted, and she was telling me about an amazing shoot she had done at Leighton House, and she literally showed me this tiny JPEG on her phone, and there was one image that I quite literally looked her in the eyes, sort of with tears in my eyes, and said, "Maryam, this has to be a show."
Patterns merge and colours collide as Eisler interweaves complex cultural references of personal experience. From her upbringing in pre-revolutionary Iran to a childhood in France and adulthood in New York. These come together in an ornate Alice in Wonderland style set in the iconic grounds of Leighton House Museum.
I was sitting at home during lockdown in London, and I was transported by thoughts of the past, of my childhood, of an Iran which no longer existed. And I was literally reading poetry, Baudelaire, Invitation au Voyage. It was drawing me into my past, into my heritage, into my culture. And it reminded me of this amazing shoot that took place in 1969 by Henry Clark for a US Vogue issue, where he went to Iran and photographed the great models of the time, Marisa Berenson, Lauren Hutton, against the backdrops of Isfahan, of Persepolis, the beautiful culture that is so enriching the culture of Iran, a culture which has contributed so much to world culture, and its beauty is forgotten.
She, after shooting at Leighton House, she went through her entire the selects and edited them down to, I think it was sort of 40 to 50 images that I could then make an additional selection for. And then obviously we looked at the space that LINLEY so generously gave us and really thought about what would work and tried to curate a show that lent towards the domestic. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all, but more that we want people to live with these works. They're so transportive in their sort of dreaminess and the fairy tales that you see in them, that we wanted to give that to people in their homes. So we really thought about scale, and you'll see that if you come to the exhibition, that we've got monumental size artworks, but then we've got really small, intimate works as well that you have to get close to read.
I was lucky enough to see Maryam Eisler's last show, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I was inspired by what I saw and the escapism that it brought. And I just thought, you know, here is a wonderful artist that would look fabulous in the store and greatly complement the furniture. So I hope that what you see around you is something that gives great pleasure, because I think they're absolutely beautiful, not only in their production, but their presentation, the frame, and the content, which is utterly original and beautiful.
So I've used a technique which is a very old photographic technique, which is sandwiching negatives effectively. And it's about capturing woman with a capital W in all her might, in all her beauty, and incorporating some architectural elements from the house, from Leighton House, that oriental splendor, and superimposing the two images together effectively. And I've even taken it a little bit further out in the sense that the frame effectively becomes part of the story. We've researched some of the Persianate designs. I've wanted it to make it look like a illumination, like a page, you know, almost like a Persian miniature effectively. And the bamboo, of course, is a referencing to the 70s and that period where bamboo in design was very present and very apparent. And of course the colors are the colors of the East, and Iran in particular, lapis, turquoise, emerald,
this is all the colour of my past.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's such rich colour, and I'm a massive colour person. And Carrie, I wanted to touch on the fact we're obviously standing in an incredibly richly curated corner, and the whole exhibition has so much thought behind. I think we talked about this kind of mystical, magical, modern day Alice in Wonderland fairy tale. How was it to curate this exhibition, and how have you been working to work to do so?
Well, this has been one of the most joyful collaborations, and it's no mistake that we're standing here by this picture, because this composition was one of the first that Maryam shared with me. And I think that this idea of a woman who is both veiled and unveiling herself, she is hidden and exposed. She is not here for our consumption, but here for her own steadfast will. It really began this process of, I think I looked at you and said, this has to be a show.
And this was the image, wasn't it? This was the first image that sparked off this entire exhibition.
But then it was literally like dominoes, right? Because Maryam would peel back, or send me the next selects, and I would think, are you kidding?
They get better and better.
Yeah.
We set our imagination free, we let go, and we created the story, effectively, set in the splendor of the East.